Hello everyone, welcome to another Happy Pod. My name is Lawrence, and who is that coming over the hill? Is it
a monster?
No, Nathan, it's you. Don't put yourself down like that. You're not a monster.
Hey, it's okay to not be okay, alright?
Is that a Lady Gaga fan? Is that a monster?
A little monster is a Lady Gaga fan.
Nathan, what is the show? What do we do here on another Happy Podcast?
It's not called Another Happy Podcast. It's called Another Happy Pod. A name which is briefly or sort of inspired by Star Wars. This is the show, Lawrence, where we talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about, clearly. And then we try to be positive about it. We discuss whatever that realm of pop culture may be, and here we are to do just that very job.
Should we do it now?
I mean, I guess we might as well.
We're here. We're recording.
We might as well. It'd be weird not to. Really.
It would be. We could just do 40 minutes of nothing. We could just talk.
We could just
about
have a chat.
Nothing. Do you know what? I was thinking that one day we should just have a chat. We should title it something fake, and for the entire thing. We talk. For 44 minutes we talk about our lives, and then in the last minute we quickly sum up something.
Maybe we'll do that for our 100th episode, which is coming up.
In fact, we won't do that, and that's just to get them off the scent in case they're anticipating it. They'll be like, oh, "I know what this is."
It is the beginning of the episode, not the end. Lawrence, do you have a question? Because it is the beginning of the episode.
You're right, Nathan. It 100% is not at the end of the episode. Never try and find a natural stitch point where these conversations just easily go into them.
I'm sure that you have put in the theme music.
Here it is. Another happy question.
Lovely stuff.
Nathan, I have no motivation to lie. I did not think of a question.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We are recording this at the end of the episode, but here it is at the start of the episode.
Do you want to take 5 and think of one?
No. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I've got one. It's bad, but it'll
So
do.
just giving up then, I guess.
No, not giving up.
You do have one.
It is technically a question.
Okay.
It's just not fantastic.
Well, that's fine. It's what you're known for. So.
Of all the deaths and the ways to die in this movie,
Yes.
no, that's too.
Which
broad.
we will talk about in a moment.
Oh, will we?
Yeah, because we'll talk about the movie.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't know.
Because it's the beginning of the episode.
Oh, it's the beginning of the episode. My mistake.
Yeah.
So the deaths in the movie, which one are you choosing to go out with?
Okay, so of all the deaths in the movie, how do I want to die?
Yeah, so there's industrial microwave head melting, followed by explosion. There's being handcuffed to a car.
I got you. All right, well, I'll have a think about that, and I'll check in at the end of the episode.
I look forward to all the good conversation we're about to have.
Yes, it's sure to be a good conversation.
No, but we're not doing that today, Nathan. We're talking about kick ass. Do you have a hard time saying this in a British accent?
No, I just say kick ass.
Kick ass. I see. I always. It sounds weird coming out my mouth.
It sounds weird saying kick ass though.
Look, you're not wrong, but at the same time, when I say kick ass, I'm like, who are you trying to impress? Why am I doing that? I don't say it like that.
Who are you trying to impress saying kick ass? Is the Queen here?
But that's just how. No, yes, I like Your Majesty. and on this week, we've got Her Majesty the Queen.
Fucking not on this show. Never on this show.
My first question, Your Majesty: why is your son such a pedo? Yeah, I'm not trying to impress anyone, but I obviously say arse, as do you.
I mean, I guess I do. I don't really think about it that
But
much.
like when you
arse.
say, like, for example, technically it's asshole, but it's arsehole. We say arsehole.
Arsehole, yeah, he's an arsehole.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick ass. Kick ass. Yeah, I don't know. But the film's called Kick Ass.
But oh yeah, I see it because it's spelt differently, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Kick Ass. It's like that weird thing, which I think is very weird. It's a phenomenon that is very weird, and I've never understood why and not just we, the entire fucking world does this. But you know how, like, as a country, you choose what your name is. I feel like as a country, that's your right to do. Like, we're England, so we go, we're England. And then France goes, we're France, so we're France. But except they didn't. They go, we're Français. And then we go, no, you're France. Germany went, we're Deutschland. And we went, no, you're Germany. So it's weird, isn't it?
Is that just, do we just do that, or do we?
I just said, the entire fucking world does it.
We probably sound really stupid right now, but how can you translate a made-up country name?
You can't. That's the exact thing. You would just say the same thing. It's like with names. You don't have a different name in a different language. If you go to France, they don't suddenly call you fucking Lorenzo.
That's in Italy, and the most Italian woman I've ever met does call me that from time to time.
Is that your wife?
No, and firstly, no, she's not my wife yet. All right, we're getting there, but we haven't got much money, so we have to get there first. No, it's her grandma or nonna.
Her nonna.
Her nonna. It was a small
Lorenzo.
Yeah, like that. Have I ever told you about the time she once fully described the plot of The Godfather to me?
I don't care, mate. We were doing a podcast. I'm not gonna lie. There's a time and a place.
That's true. Yeah, we won't recap that here and now. Right, Kick Ass.
It's called Kick Ass. That's what we're talking about today.
All right, you didn't want to talk about it today, did you? You were aggrieved when I told you that I wanted to do this topic.
I wasn't really aggrieved. I was just...
You were. You've got a pinboard with Aaron Taylor Johnson's face on it, and you throw darts at it, and every day you... It's not funny when you don't interrupt me, and I have to keep going. It's never funny. It's always horrible.
Why would I interrupt you on this fun little riff that you're doing?
You know when I start a riff, I don't know where it's going. And you know it's your place on this dynamic to step in and call me an idiot or something.
Sometimes I just like to see where it goes, and I like to see the fear in your eyes.
I know. You've said this before, and then you stopped doing it for a while, and I was like, oh, cool. Maybe now he's got it out of his system, but no, you didn't. But honestly, though, you were a bit like, oh, kick ass.
I was, yeah, because I hadn't really watched it since it. Well, that's I hadn't watched it in a while, like quite a while. Not since it first came out, but close enough. And I liked the movie fine enough when it came out.
Liked in past tense, I've noticed.
Look, it's a fine movie, alright? Yeah. It's good enough, whatever. I just feel like Kick-Ass over the years, for some reason, it's gained a following, an attraction, and I feel like now it's kind of one of those movies that fucking nerds and dickheads and you look back on and think, oh, it's so good, it's revolutionary, it's fucking one of the best movies, and it's fine. I don't think there's anything mold breaking or fucking revolutionary about. It's just very middle of the road. It tries to be edgy. It kind of like, look at me, I'm edgy, but it's not really. It's just.
Right. I wanted to ask you that. Is it intentionally edgy, or is it 2010 dialogue?
I haven't watched a lot of movies from 2010. Maybe it is just 2010 dialogue. If I'm being honest, I can't remember. It was 12 years ago. I was a different man back then, literally, because I'm Doctor Who. But it's just... it's just that it seemed... Watching it back today, it seemed that it was trying to be edgy. It was like The Boys Light. Okay. It was just like, here's a 12-year-old girl saying cunt, but she'll only say it once, so don't worry too much.
Yeah, I know, I do see where you're coming from, and there was a lot of people, when this was trying to be made, there was a lot of people that actually turned it down, saying it was too edgy for the time. Like, I can't remember the exact studio that picked it up, but I know that it was mostly funded by...
I think it was entirely funded by Matthew, like, his, I think, from what I remember, no studio would touch it, and he had to like make it himself and then sell it to. Well,
they said we'll take Universal. It if you water it down and Hit Girl is older or doesn't use so many expletives and doesn't kill. She just like pushes and shoves. Yeah, which would be terrible.
God, you love this movie. You worship
without falling into the trappings that you've put me in. I think this movie is incredible. I really like this movie a lot.
So why did this movie change your life?
No. It didn't change my life. Right? I'm not falling into your traps.
What is it about this movie that made you want to become a director?
Okay, all right. Fair shot there, I'll take it. Do you know what the worst thing is? My answer is the director.
Go on.
Matthew Vaughn in this movie is at the top of his game. Like, No, right.
As someone who recently watched X-Men First Class, I would disagree.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's not the finest story. They're not the finest characters. It's not high-end emotional drama, right? But when you look at the level of talent in terms of like the sequences, there isn't a fight sequence in this that misses. Like, go on. No, go on. Which one misses?
The last one in the penthouse, I would say.
You think that misses?
Yeah, I think it's boring.
I think
it's good. It's good for that small snippet when Hit Girl's going down the corridor.
So when she takes cover, it gets dull.
Yeah, and the rest of it.
I can kind of see where you're coming from. This is way jumping ahead, but just while we're on the last fight, I have a funny moment that says, "It's all well and good until you realise Kick-Ass is fist fighting a man whilst having 2 turrets on his back."
Why did he keep that jetpack on the entire time?
Yeah, firstly, cannot have helped you in terms of like
take it off, man.
Yeah, in terms
you can
of
pick it up again later. Just take it off.
But so he has that on. But then also, like Red Mist runs at him.
Yeah.
Just pull out your turrets. Just shoot him into next century. Like,
I think he was out of ammo, to be fair.
Oh, was it? Okay.
He used it all on those 3 guys.
Yeah. Well worth the 300 grand the movie sets up that it was. Yeah. All right, even if it's out of ammo, just fly. Go to the corner of the room like a little spider. Burn him, jetpack him, fly into the corner of the room like a little spider so he can't get you. And he just gets progressively more cross as he swings in the air.
Anyway, you were saying why you worship the ground that Matthew Vaughn walks on because of this movie.
Look, Matthew Vaughn has been known. Like, you look at Kingsman, The King's Man. I haven't seen The King's Man, to be honest. I hear it's homophobic.
It's bad. It's a bad movie. I mean, it has an MCU post-credit scene where it sets up the next villain as Hitler, so that's good.
The next villain is Hitler.
The next villain is Hitler. It's like there's like a full-on MCU post-credit scene where there's like 2 guys talking, and then they're like, "What's he gonna do? He's gonna be really mad about this and all this sort of stuff." And then like the door opens, and then in dramatically walks Adolf Hitler, and is like, well, gentlemen. Now we will see what happens next. And then it dramatically cuts or some shit.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, it's just full-on MCU.
Hitler just turns around with his gauntlet and he goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
It could have literally been less dumb if they actually did that. But bad movie.
All right, let's tell you what. We're never going to agree fundamentally on why I like this film and why you don't.
But I would like to know why you like it. I'd like to know...
Right, I think this has... As much as it doesn't have... Right, basically, I like its simplicity and I like that it's stylish where it wants to be stylish. Like, for example, like I like the cookie cutter bad guys who are just New York mobsters that sell coke. You don't know you don't know how their operation runs. They're just a couple of guys that are like, "Hey, this guy's fucking up my guys on my payroll." Blah. It's just a bunch of New Yorkers. Yeah. I like that it's a premise in terms of it's a superhero movie where the guy goes, "I'm going to be a superhero." And then 16 minutes into the film, he's pretending to be a superhero. It's not a drawn-out origin. It's simple.
So in the year of our Lord 2010, when this movie came out, there was 2 movies that had a guy dressing up and becoming a superhero. This is the worst one, I would say, of those 2 movies.
Give me the other one.
Super. Rainn Wilson, James Gunn, directed.
Have I seen it? I think I might have seen it when I was younger. I don't recall it too much, though.
If you haven't seen it, you should watch it, because it's better than this. Although there is a very weird scene. So, Elliot Page is in it. Because it was 10 years ago, so...
Yeah.
But Elliot Page plays the sidekick to the main character of Rainn Wilson. And then at one point, they... Elliot rapes Rainn Wilson's character, and it's played for laughs, and it's just a very, very strange scene.
Very early career James Gunn.
Yeah, it's a very weird scene. Even at the time when I was watching, I was like, "This is weird."
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, though, good movie.
Oh, good. Okay.
Stars Kevin Bacon as the villain. And not just the villain of EE's fiber broadband.
Oh, no, he loves it. Do you know, whenever I associate brand deals, I associate him with EE broadband and Gary Lineker with crisps.
He hasn't done crisps in about 10, maybe like 15 years.
I just saw a tweet once upon a time, and it stuck with me forever. The tweet is as simple as Gary Lineker shags crisps. And then I've never been able to get it out of my head.
I saw a Yorkshire tea advert today with Sir Patrick Stewart in it.
Oh, times are hard, man. He's cameoing in MCU movies. Oh, God. Anyway, the Kick-Ass, the movie.
Yes.
Look, I think it's got a ton of heart. I think the action sequences are great. The music always stuck with me. And watching back on it today, the music's actually not that memorable. I just think it's like the music on its own, whatever, but it's utilized very well in certain scenes to enhance like the style of the editing, the style of the fight choreography. Which I can
think of two moments where the music stands out. Number one, the scene where Nicolas Cage destroys the warehouse.
Yeah.
And he shoots everyone and burns it down.
That's the 28 Days Later music, right? Or...
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's something. It's not from this movie anyway.
No.
Not originally anyway. And then the music, they have like kind of a hero theme when they're flying away on the jetpack at the end.
Sounds very generic.
It does sound very generic. And a lot of this movie, I think that's my issue with it. A lot of this movie I feel is very generic. Because like, I guess it's kind of going for a 2002 Spider-Man parody, in a way. Like, even the way it opens, it's very 2002 Raimi Spider-Man. It's very, you got the Peter Parker narration. He's even saying similar stuff to what Peter Parker says.
Very, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm this loser, yeah.
It's all very, look at this, we're doing a superhero movie.
It has the rooftop sequence where he's going to jump rooftops and then he's like, no, fuck that.
Yeah, it does. And I feel like that's why it just feels a little bit... it's not fresh. Nothing here is new. Even if you are doing this kind of parody but real world version of that, but actually it's not real world because it is a little heightened, because now I'm on a fucking jetpack and there's a guy dressed as Batman. It's kind of trying to do everything at once, I feel like, and for me it doesn't land with it all.
See, that's fair. So I've got a note that pretty much sums up exactly that. It says everything in this is intentionally hyper dramatic, but I wish the movie would stop trying to have its cake and eat it too by saying we're the real world superheroes.
Yeah.
And then having an 11-year-old girl reload pistols in midair.
Yeah.
Double-handed. Like this is stuff that trained killers cannot do.
No one could do. It's physically impossible.
It's literally you need two hands to reload a gun. Otherwise, I've died in Call of Duty way too many times. I'm pissed off about it. No, I can see where you're coming from, and I do, but I do think that, and that's some kind of one of the reasons why I love it. I love that this movie is intentionally hyper dramatic. I love that the movie it's so like the pairing of Big Daddy and Hit Girl is so fucking stupid and otherworldly and dumb and so comic book movie. But then I do wish the movie would be like, oh, if a guy did this in real life, they'd get their ass kicked. And I'm like, well, then follow up on that and he should be getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I guess I'm much the same way. I do see it as very dumb. But then that's where it stops for me. I don't enjoy it because of that. Do you not think like this is going to sound super pretentious, but do you not think like the craft of it is impressive? No.
What?
No,
like, do you honestly not think?
When I was watching this today, there wasn't at no point when I was watching this movie I was like, that's an interesting shot. That's really well done. That's edited well. Nothing.
You're baffling me right now. You are shocking me.
I'm not. It's just, this is what I'm saying. It's very middle of the road. There's nothing in this which really stands out. What stands out to you in terms of that sort of stuff?
Right, I'll try and brief it because genuinely so many moments in this stand out to me. Right, the main one, and this has stuck with me, and this is the main reason I like this movie and remember. This is one of those movies I first watched when it came out. Yeah. And then I remembered back like maybe 5 years later and went, oh, I think I really enjoyed that movie. Watched it another time and then went, oh, I really like this movie. is the Big Daddy fight warehouse sequence.
Yeah.
The reason I've done that, let me find.
Is that not just 90% the music though?
No. See, that's the thing. It's right.
Also, you have to think. Wasn't watching all those camera angles.
Yeah, but it goes into the thing, and it's a stylized choice, Nathan. Do not be cinema sins. I won't let you be cinema sins on this.
All right, fair enough.
You can dislike it, but dislike it for valid reasons.
No, yeah, that's fair. Please always stop me from being cinema sins. I will.
Right. It's one of so my note kind of roughly says it's one of my favorite action sequences and has been since I've seen it. So basically, the reason I love it is when you think about the action sequences that were happening at the time that were like way too reliant on like jump cuts and like the Bourne style of fight, hand-to-hand combat, stuff like that. How everyone's like, oh, it's like 100 shots in a second and it's cut so fast you don't know what's happening and that's the Hyde choreography, whatever. This movie it kind of invents a new style of like hand-to-hand combat editing in a fight sequence by way of it kind of shows you what he's about to do and then kind of just jumps. It's like the only way I can describe it is like a YouTube jump cut. You know when someone's on the same screen but they keep moving in locations?
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've seen the scene.
Yeah.
So I know like the editing stuff you're talking about where it jumps forward just like a second, half a second or whatever. Yeah. But again, I don't feel like that's anything new. But I've seen that so many times.
Where?
I don't fucking know.
No, go on. You've seen it so many times.
Don't know. I can't give you specific examples, but I have seen that. Like, it's... At no point when I was watching this movie, I was like, oh my god, my mind is blown. I've never seen that before. Because I have.
But does every movie have to have done... Even though I disagree with you, does every movie have to break new ground to be good?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So why isn't this good now?
Because it's boring. I'm not saying the reason this movie, for me personally, isn't good is because it's not breaking new ground. I'm fully the opposite of that. I think
and that's why I'm surprised you don't like this.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I don't think every movie has to break new ground at all. I think movies can be movies, and you can just simply enjoy them for being a movie. It doesn't have to change your fucking life. Yeah. That being said, this didn't change my fucking life. It was just there was nothing in this that's exciting. No, that's not true. There's exciting stuff. There's compelling action. There's kind of okay storytelling throughout it, but for the most part it's all just stuff that I know and that I've seen done better in other films and other ways and stuff. And it's just all even the cast and the characters, like fucking McLovin's there, he's doing McLovin again, but now he's a superhero. So great. I've seen that before. I've seen Superbad. It's fine. No, Superbad's actually very good. Fucking that guy who, like, his friend who's not another Quicksilver, who plays the nerd in, like, every other movie from this era, and then who is in The Office and all that sort of stuff. He's in The Office, he's in
New Girl for a brief stint.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. He always plays the same character in literally everything he's in.
The awkward, sexually charged nerd.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So I've seen him do that character a million times. He's doing the same thing.
His other friend who isn't the Quicksilver.
His other friend who isn't a Quicksilver, yeah.
It's fair enough, yeah.
It's an accurate description.
It is. I mean, in fairness, it narrowed it right down.
Yeah, there you go. Evan Peters is doing Evan Peters stuff. The daughter is the daughter. His girlfriend is the daughter from How I Met Your Mother. It's all shit I've seen before. All right, it's all just samey stuff. And again, it's not a rehash, but it feels like a rehash just watching this to me.
Okay. How do you feel about Big Daddy?
Mixed feelings.
He's a fucking lunatic, right?
Yes. He's a fucking lunatic. He shouldn't be allowed within 50 feet of his daughter, for a start. He's clearly fucking brainwashed her since the moment he got his hands on her, which the movie even says. That's not like a fucking editorializing or whatever. That's literally what the fucking movie says.
Yeah.
He's a complete lunatic. I get what they're doing. They're trying to do like an accurate and realistic version of Batman and Robin because it is fucking a grown man who has just fucking raised this child soldier and is now has adopted them into their crusade and is making them fight for him and all that sort of shit. And I get it, and it's interesting. He's even fucking doing the Adam West fucking dialogue voice stuff.
Do you know a fun fact about that?
Go on.
Nick Cage met Adam West and went, "I'm such a big fan. Did you see what I did in Kick-Ass? I emulated you." And Adam West simply responded, apparently this is the last interaction they had. Adam West simply responded, "I saw you try." And then like tapped him, and then off they went, which is very mean. Do you know what? Have you read the comics of this? I assume
I have actually.
Oh.
I've read Kick-Ass. I think I've read all three of them. I think.
Do you remember what happened? Do you remember what the original graphic novel storyline of Big Daddy and Hit-Go is?
No.
So one of my major gripes with the movie is that they changed this for the screen, and I have no idea why. Because what they did, whilst I think it works in the movie, it's so much worse of an idea than what is in the source material. And in the source material, basically, it was revealed at the end that he was kind of the flip side of how the Kick-Ass mentality is fucking dangerous. So Kick-Ass is very goofy. Same thing as in the movie. He's like, why does no one be a superhero? It's so easy to be a superhero. Put on a mask and help people. Blah, blah, blah. Whoa. Completely naive, dumb as fuck, idiotic. That is Big Daddy. Big Daddy starts... Big Daddy does go to prison, but he's just a general criminal. He's not like this cop. His mother, the mother of his child dies. When he comes out of prison, he regains custody of his child because it's like a special circumstance where there's literally no other person to look after this kid. Yeah. So he goes into it. They then go on the run, and he makes up an entire backstory about this, like, Frank D'Amico, although he's Frank someone else in the comics. Frank D'Amico, how his mum like couldn't cope and had an overdose because of how distraught she was that he was in prison. And essentially he funded their lifestyle by his stack of his ridiculously expensive
comic
collections.
Books.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
And he was basically what he was a man who took his daughter, brainwashed her into thinking they had like a higher calling, and made up a complete bunch of lies about just this random crime family that he found out, just because he wanted to live the life of like you say, a Batman and Robin-esque superhero team.
Wait, so in the comics, Frank D'Amico isn't real?
No, Frank D'Amico is real, but he doesn't have any connection. Like, he didn't frame him.
Okay.
They're just complete fucking strangers.
He's took that mob boss and made his own big bad out of him, essentially.
Yeah. Made him like the Lex Luthor of the corporations.
Yeah.
Or like the,
What I remember about the comics is very specifically that in Kick-Ass 2, which is an even worse movie...
I know it's a worse movie. I still bought it on Prime. I'm going to watch it tonight.
It's really bad.
It is bad as fuck, yeah.
Don't like when they kiss.
Nope.
What? Why? Why they do that?
All I can say about that movie is that Matthew Vaughn didn't return. And whether you like the first one or not, boy, is it clear.
Oh, God. Bad movie. Anyway.
But Aaron Taylor-Johnson doesn't mind age gaps, does he?
Oh, come on. One thing I remember specifically about the comic for Kick-Ass 2 is that there's a scene in the movie where Red Mist, I think, was going to, again, trigger warning, I guess, was going to rape his girlfriend, but he doesn't, because in the movie he can't get it up. What a funny joke. But in the comics he actually does, I think.
Yeah.
And then they just like blow a load of shit up as well, which I think I remember.
Yeah.
Fun comic books.
Yeah, they also in the movie again. The second movie.
The second movie's I think it's quite different from the comic book as well.
Yeah,
I think it veers off quite a lot from what I remember.
It also claimed to be far more violent, but weirdly enough, left way more shit out of the violent stuff. In Colonel Stars and Stripes or whatever, I think it's actually a guy called Stripes and a guy called Stars or something. Yeah, in the comics. Either way, one of them gets beheaded in the movie. No, sorry, he doesn't get beheaded. He gets murdered, and they cut his dog's head off and put it on him. Whereas in the movie, they're like, kill a dog? Jesus, I'm not that evil. Whoa.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
good stuff. Good
anyway,
stuff.
a much better movie, whether you'd like to admit it or not. This is.
I'll give you that. This is definitely a better movie than Kick-Ass 2. Again, why did they kiss? Don't like it. Don't do that. Don't write Aaron Taylor Johnson kissing a 12-year-old girl. It's stupid.
It also doesn't help when Aaron Taylor Johnson already looks old for his age.
Yes,
and
Chloe Moretz looks very young. So,
yeah. Look, admittedly. Look, I don't know how old she was when filming that. I don't know if she was over the age of 18. But if you depict her as an 11-year-old girl in the movie, one movie prior,
yeah,
maybe leave it out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got your dad killed. Time to kiss.
Here's a note that I have about this movie, which again is better, but not by much.
No, by a fucking country mile.
I don't know about that. He's gay. What a great joke.
The concept of a man kissing a man. Hilarious! Peak comedy! There are dated uses of language, there are dated jokes and terms, and the entire subplot of it being a purely fucking hilarious construct that Dave is mistaken for a gay man, which he then goes along with and manipulates the girl that is then fine with it and is like, I'm actually really horny for that you lied to me.
Let's have sex, right?
Yeah, let's have sex by this bin!
Let's leave our friends at this hybrid coffee shop / comic book store, which exists apparently.
And seems to be highly profitable for whatever reason.
Look, all I'm saying is I want to see that store's tax returns, because there's fucking something dodgy going on there.
They I have a note. Now that it appears we are cinema sins in this movie. Oh, no. I do have a note that says, I can't find it, but it's something along the lines of, for all the crimes those two criminals commit in that one specific alleyway, you'd think someone would have got them arrested by now.
Why are they always committing crimes in the same alleyway? What's going on? It's the same place.
Hey, yo, dude, we better get out of here. We better run before the feds come and bust us.
Maybe we shouldn't walk through this one alleyway where we always get mugged by those two guys. You know, maybe let's go a different way home.
It's New York. You could quite literally walk anywhere, and you'll find anywhere. Turn a square, and you'll find your way home. That's how New
so
York
easy
works.
To get around in New York. The streets are literally numbered. Jetpack, we kind of gone over this, but Jetpack was overhyped. They kept like teasing it and bringing it up, and everyone was looking over the crate, and then he literally killed 3 fucking dudes with it. So,
but Elvis played, and that was cool.
Elvis did indeed play. Give Austin Butler another tenner or whatever. Great, good stuff.
What was weird is that I watched Elvis like yesterday.
Was it bad? I hear it's bad.
No, it's good. I really enjoyed it. It slows down in the middle.
Did anyone step on his blue suede shoes?
Not that I know about.
All right.
And I feel like I would know about it if that happened in an Elvis movie.
Was there a hound dog at any point?
Do you know what? There was an overabundance of hound dog.
Was there actually?
There is one hound dog in the film, but my God, the screen time mileage they get out of hound dog goes a long way.
Was there anyone who had a suspicious mind?
Yes, there was.
Great, lovely stuff.
Any more Elvis questions?
Nope, that's the only 3 songs I can think of.
Fair enough. Not the one that we're currently talking about in Kick-Ass. You couldn't remember that one.
Don't know the name of it.
I think it's something along the lines of...
Was there a battle at Waterloo?
That is not Elvis, but there could have been.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing.
One can only hope.
What? Right. I find it a funny choice.
Okay.
That the movie commits to using, like, comic book panel transitions.
I find it a weird choice, and I don't like it.
I don't mind it. However, I'm surprised that any studio wanted to after that Hulk movie did it, and everyone was like, this Hulk movie sucks.
This is bad, and it's bad specifically because of the comic book transitions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I hated? I hated the Big Daddy origin story, where it's like, now we're just going to do a full comic book in an art style that was very upsetting, especially when it went 3D and like turned and stuff.
I like that.
Oh, I did not like that at all. I hated it.
Why?
Because it was upsetting. It was just It was visually upset. It was a bad art style. Like the 3D animation of it, like when it turned, like when it was like a 2D character facing like on, and then the camera like turned around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was visually upsetting, and I didn't like it.
I think, all right, fair enough. Yeah, the art style wasn't the prettiest. I think it's well made.
I guess. Why is he randomly drawing scenes from this movie as well? Stop doing that, Nick Cage.
Yeah, and with mind-blowing accuracy.
Yeah. And why is he putting on like a little bit more of his mustache to go fight crime?
I don't know.
Why does he just grow a goatee? I'll just put these little 2 bits on.
I think it's specifically because he's like, I don't want to shave my moustache, but if I don't change my moustache, I narrow the field of possibility down very thinly to this specific moustache.
Because if anyone's going to clock you, it's going to be the fucking moustache that'll give you away, isn't it?
Also, who are you leaving breathing?
Exactly. You kill everyone who sees you.
Literally. The movie goes out of its way to be like, no fucker knows who this cunt is.
Exactly.
Because he's the murderous Batman. Like, he just comes down and will massacre you.
Also, what the fuck is he shouting when he's on fire? Is he just screaming? Because
No.
it's really weird. It's like the movie is trying to say this is an emotional moment because here's this man dying whilst his daughter fights for all their lives.
Yeah.
But he's there in the corner, just like, ah!
So in the comics, and I listened out for it today because all the time I've watched this movie and it's just become a fact in my head that I don't know what he does or what he says there. Okay. What he is doing, and it is in the comics as well, is they have tactical, like, kind of phrases. Like they have memorized comic book titles to mean specific strategic battle like techniques or things. So he says like switch to Robin's Revenge, that's where she's like she strobe lights the fuck out of him.
So maybe there should have been a scene earlier in the movie, maybe when he shot her in that parking lot. That, you know,
I call this one The Dark Knight Returns.
Exactly. They
bang!
just hinted at that.
Yeah.
But,
no, Nathan, if they were going to do any... They had that, but then they turned all the foreshadowing scenes to looking over a crate instead.
Great. Let's all look at this $300,000 crate.
Yeah.
Put some guns on it. Fucking hell.
I feel like we always get to this point where we start then criticising a movie for all of its silly little things that we like to make fun of. I do want to stress, I really, really, really enjoy this movie quite a lot.
And I want to stress, I do not. And I don't like it, and I think it's fine.
Okay.
But would I watch it in the next 10 years? Only if I had to.
When we do the reunion episode, we've revisited it. Has Nathan? Every year we should do an episode on this and just see if you go progressively more insane or you warm to it.
Okay, so we've already decided that there's only one franchise we're doing an annual revisiting of. Okay, and it's not this.
What is it again? Oh yes,
Scream.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Join us Halloween for
Scream 2.
Scream 2 coming soon.
Yeah. But look. This is... I was going to say fine, but I want to say bad. But I don't think it's bad. But I think it's somewhere between fine and bad.
I would disagree.
I know you would. But I would say... Just... You don't need to watch it.
Fair enough.
I would say give it a miss.
Fair enough.
Do not recommend. Save your time and watch X-Men Apocalypse instead.
X-Men? Why X-Men Apocalypse?
Because I watched it last night.
Good. I would disagree with Nathan. I think it's thoroughly worth a watch. I think it's a good movie, very well made, and I would highly recommend it.
There's more heart in X-Men Apocalypse than there is in this.
X-Men Apocalypse? You're stupid. You're silly.
No, all the stuff with Magneto and his daughter.
The epic one scene.
Yeah.
One scene? I think you're wrong.
It's in more than one scene. book.
I'm gonna snip that out, put it on comic book Twitter, and they're gonna smoke your ass.
Oh no, a bunch of nerds on the internet.
Yeah, they're coming for you, Nathan. One last thing. I kind of had this realization. Maybe you won't even agree with it, to be honest. You might not see where I'm coming from at all. I think this fits quite nicely into a movie genre that I quite enjoy, which was stylistic directors making good movies with stupid as fuck concepts. The other main ones I thought about were Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
I feel like Edgar Wright's a silly director, though.
Do you think Matthew Vaughn fits silly director or not?
I mean, I guess when you look at his other stuff.
Yeah. But yeah,
but is that
movies?
the way you're saying? Are you saying? I thought you were saying serious director does silly stuff.
No, not serious director. As in, like, it's a well-made movie that is about something very stupid. You're right. You can. I'm not going to keep biting. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
Doing it. I'm just stating my opinion.
I'm sick of it. Big time.
Look, okay, all right. I mean, sure. I guess that's. Yeah.
Can you think of any other movies that fit that category?
Give it to me one more time. What's the category?
Category is kind of like heartfelt. This has changed every time. Heartfelt, well-made movies.
What is heartfelt about this movie?
Are you silly?
Apart from the one scene where Big Daddy dies, what is heartfelt?
The scene where Big Daddy
dies. Exactly. It's not, and he's a fucking psychopath who shouldn't be allowed anywhere near his daughter. Nothing about this is heartfelt.
Whilst you are not wrong, all right, heartfelt's the wrong word. I think this movie has heart in terms of. I like the moment where Kick-Ass is like refusing to move over the beaten body of some dude, and he's like, although he's stupid and dumb and way out of his fucking depth, I like the fact that he chooses to stand over him and put himself in massive harm's way to protect people. People are inspired by that. I like the fact that he manipulates his. No, I don't. No, I think there's a lot of heart in this. Can you not tell from the generic "We Won" soundtrack at the end?
No, I don't think there's any heart in it. There's attempts at heart, and I think you're probably the closest it gets is you say that scene towards the beginning where he is, defending that guy. That's probably the most heart in the movie, I would say. But this movie does not. At no point was I emotional during this.
Do you not think like there's a lovely moment where it's like, if it wasn't for you, I'd be dead. If it wasn't for you, my daddy wouldn't be. Those kind of lines, not heartfelt at all for you.
Not really.
Well, then you're stupid. And
just accurate, really. It's just an accurate line.
it's just a savage burn.
It's just the truth. I will leave my thoughts on this movie with this. My final thought: who the fuck is using MySpace in 2010?
It's a fair point.
Not me, that's for sure. I was on the Facebook train by that point.
Yeah, I think I was too. I think I switched in about 2009. I actually never had MySpace.
Well, there you go. I had MySpace.
Yeah, but you were probably downloading your hit music on Napster and all sorts, weren't you? You old cunt.
I was on LimeWire, excuse you.
Oh, fucking
I was on LimeWire. I started off with a Pixo. That was my first social media.
I had a Pixo.
Awful.
No, Nathan, it wasn't. You could visit a website and you could choose to play a selected song that they had chosen for you.
Horrible feature. Don't do that.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear your shitty top 40.
You could change the cursor to be anything.
And then I graduated to Bebo. We all remember Bebo.
I don't. You're old.
Bebo was after Pixo, you dickhead.
I never used it then because I was too much. I could see. This is a failing site, and I won't be involved in it. I won't besmirch my good name.
Everyone remembers Bebo.
I remember MSN.
Yeah, MSN was there, of course, but that was different. That wasn't really a website. It was like that
was like
service.
Facebook Messenger just sweeps that up, didn't it? Like,
yeah, it did. Anyway, enough from these two old men reminiscing about social media of yore.
I think these two men, one being older than the other one, I think is more apt.
Look, no, you're old now as well.
No.
He was calling me old when I was your age. So.
It's true.
He was calling me old.
Much
He was calling me old when I was a lot younger than you are now. So.
How old were you when I met you? You were 21
I was
when I met you?
21 when I met you.
And
now I'm 28, which sounds awful.
And I would have been, what, 20?
You would have been 18.
18, yeah.
He was 18, a young whippersnapper who I took under my wing.
A man who didn't mind getting on his knees and then back up again without going, oh, my knees, fucking hell.
Two men who could get up off the couch without grunting.
I did that earlier today, and I thought, I need to get a hold of myself, man. I need to get a grip of this.
Lawrence, it's
Nathan.
now the end of the episode.
It is so the end of the episode.
And I'm not lying when I say that. That's the truth.
It is the truth.
So, now...
It feels like we just started it.
It does. But we haven't. We were going for 54 minutes. I do have... So you didn't just ask me a question. You asked me about 50 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's 50
Lawrence,
minutes
please
ago.
remind me, what was that question?
So 50 minutes ago, Nathan, around about that time, definitely not right now,
Yes.
I asked you, you can choose a death from this movie to serve as your own death. I reminded you of such classics as industrial microwave head melting followed by explosion, being handcuffed to a car which is being crushed in an industrial crushing machine.
I got you. So let me just say, first of all, this is a terrible question.
Thank you.
Okay, even with your low point of whatever that dad one was that you had.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was bad. I think this is even scraping the bottom of the barrel. You admitted, however, that you completely forgot to think of one and just made it up on the spot.
Yes.
So I will award you 2 honesty points for that.
Thank you.
Treasure them.
Out of how many honesty points?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
That being said, now, in terms of how I want to die, if I had to pick a death from this movie, I think the best one is Kick-Ass's mum. Just quick and easy, brain aneurysm on the breakfast table, off I go.
While talking about the Sugar Puffs, man.
Yeah, just lovely conversation about the honey monster,
Yep.
and then, I'm dead. No muss, no fuss.
Fair enough.
Put me in the ground.
I hear there's talk of people becoming trees these days.
There's all sorts of stuff. You can become a tree. You can become a little plant.
Would you become a tree?
I would become a tree. I feel that'd be quite cool.
I wouldn't mind, but then I just know some scabby fucking 18-year-old's going to get fingered up against me once. Like, it will happen.
But that's a circle of life, Lawrence.
You got...
And then you, as that tree, can look down upon that scabby 18-year-old and smile and know that life is continuing as Elton John plays in the distance. It is indeed the circle of life. Join us next week when we will be discussing this.
What are you gonna do? Shoot in the air? Try to scare me? Go ahead. You wouldn't let me die. You're not gonna kill me.
Oh, so now I saved your life. That makes me weak?
Look, I'm not a threat to you or your boy. I need to be on your property. I'd rather there's no contact at all. I'm gonna stay in the fields.
Nathan, we have some social medias, don't we? We do, actually.
We do.
They are at Another Happy Pod. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are going to shortly be popping Renegade Pussy Locking Power Profit.
We're on TikTok.
We're going to be on TikTok pretty soon. I was supposed to.
We're on there now. You can follow us now.
We are quite there. Head over there, but if you have,
you'll see a fun little video of Lawrence.
You will.
Been surprised that he's on camera.
You'll also totally get caught.
No one's liking that corduroy video, let me tell you that.
I have single-handedly corduroyed 700 people.
727.
Tag your friends to totally corduroy them too. And if you haven't seen it...
What does that even mean?
You have no one listening to this has any fucking clue what that even means.
I've seen it and I don't even know what it means. What does getting corduroyed mean?
Doesn't matter, Nathan. Tag your friends to totally corduroy them too. You can give us a review. Give us a 5-star review, please. This has definitely been primo content that's worth it.
Yep.
Not at all a messy edit by the sounds of this outro. Give us 5 stars. You can do that on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I'm told. So that's good stuff.
That's right. I just got a text from my sister that says, I'm a kitchen. So...
She's a kitchen.
There we go. You heard it here first.
She is a kitchen.
Oh, she texted me back, I'm in the kitchen.
There we
go.
A classic faux pas.
There we go.
For a second there, Nathan, I think all of us at home listening to this thought your sister was a kitchen.
I did too. I was concerned, but now I'm fine.
We can finally put our mind at rest.
I can sleep in peace. Now.
You go into the kitchen. Are you there?
It's very late. This episode comes out in less than 12 hours.
I know it does.
Wrap this bitch up.
Yeah, right. Bye, everyone. Thanks. Join us next week for Lopper, the movie, Ryan Johnson, Star Wars.